When you work in AutoCAD Mechanical, you work with a common drawing setup. Now, this is normally template driven, so you tend to utilize your AutoCAD DWT files, not, as you can see at the top there, your DWG files. Now, I am assuming that you've got a little bit of AutoCAD knowledge here. So the basic concept of AutoCAD Mechanical is that you're going to draw something. But what you need is something that will allow you to draw something over and over again. That's where your templates come in. Now, if you remember previously, I got you to set up the startup variable. And you set it to 1 so that when you clicked on New up here on the Quick Access toolbar, you got the Startup dialog box. Now, you can go here and you can create either an imperial or metric drawing from a standard template. Now, the imperial standard template is ACAD, ACAD, .dwt. The standard metric AutoCAD template is ACAD, ACAD, ISO, ISO.dwt. ISO stands for International Standards Organization, which is completely metric. So that's one way of setting up a blank drawing, knowing which template you're using. However, if I click on Use a Template, here's all of the AutoCAD Mechanical standard templates. Now, you'll notice when I select any of these from the list, there is actually no template description. And that's because what I'm doing here is looking at ACAD and ACAD ISO. I've mentioned those already. You've also got AutoCAD Mechanical ANSI, American National Standards Institute, BSI, British Standards Institute, and so on. You've got things like GB, which is Great Britain, and so on. There's loads of different standards. There's an ISO standard. There's a Japanese International Standard there, JIS. So you can work with all those different standards. Now, what you tend to use is standard-based drafting in AutoCAD Mechanical. Now, we're going to cover that a little bit later on. All I'm going to do here is go to a metric blank template like that. So when I click on OK now, that will actually open up a new drawing. Now, you'll notice there my drawing number has updated to drawing 2. So what I'll probably do later on is do a file save as and save this as a particular file name. I'm not going to worry about it now because I'm purely demonstrating the settings. Now, standard-based drafting we're going to cover in the next section. But just so you know, if you right-click and go to Options on your shortcut menu here, what you'll see is a very different Options dialog box. Lots of different settings. Now, if I go across here, look, you can see, look, there's lots of different tabs. All these AM ones don't mean that it's in the morning. They stand for AM AutoCAD Mechanical. So if I go to Standards there's my standard, ISO, metric, model scale 1:1. But look at all the elements that I can edit. Things like datum target. What bill of materials am I using? What parts list style am I using? Am I using center lines? Have I got thread lines? Have I got notes? Welding, for example. Remember, we're in a mechanical environment. So if I look at structure there, standard structure, standard drawing, visible edges, content, what am I doing there? Hide background objects, so I'm hiding hidden lines, things like that. Shaft generators for generating shafts for bolts, gears, bearing shafts, calculations, as you can see there. Finite element analysis, for example, calculation node, force unit, length unit, millimeters, newtons. Lots of information that doesn't come with your standard AutoCAD. And also you've got AM preferences. So the snap settings are your system settings, administration tools, file safety precautions, desktop audit control. Lots of different settings here, a lot of which we won't touch, but I just want to make sure that you know they're there. So, as you can see, for your standard drawing setup, there's a lot to think about, and we'll cover that a lot more in the standard-based drafting section of AutoCAD Mechanical 2010 Basic Concepts.